All right, guys. Going to be doing another comic review, and this is another book sent to me by my friend Chris. As thank you, as always, brother. And today we're going to be talking about Penguin: All Bad Things. So this comic is the second half of Tom King's run. I think it's the end, although it does kind of leave off on a plot line that's like, okay, why was that put there? Is there a third volume? I don't know if this is ongoing, but it does also feel like this was a solid end. Like, there's also like a definitive end, except for one little plot line. But yeah. So as you guys know, I really do enjoy Tom King's work. I enjoy it for the most part. There are books I've talked about multiple times of books of his I haven't really enjoyed. So where did this stand for me? Well, the first volume was nothing short of awesome. Of Penguin, basically in this story, Oswald Cobblepot got ousted during the Chip Zdarsky run of his son and daughter, Aiden and Addison. Basically, after he gets driven out of Gotham, Oswald is living a simple life in Metropolis, and then the government, specifically Waller, uses him to have federal control over the crime families in Gotham. That doesn't turn out well, and throughout the first few comics, Oswald's basically getting a whole crew together to take back his city. And the first half is just more of them putting the group together, like the Force of July, which is was actually a superhero group turned superpowered hitmen for the government, and Black Spider and the Help, who showed up in Tom King's Batman Killing Time. So this is the second half of this, and I also find it weird, by the way, that Volume 1 was issues 1 through 7, and then this one's just 5 through 12. It makes me go, why didn't it just 1 through 6, then 7 through 12 here? Instead of, why wasn't it split evenly down the middle? It just feels kind of awkward. Anyway, so like I said, this is the whole story of how Oswald takes back his city. And yeah, if you know anything about Oswald Cobblepot, it's nothing short of just, everyone's just a pawn to him. Everyone is just a stepping stone for this little monster, and you can't help but root for him. Oswald basically manipulates Batman. He manipulates members of his crew, his children. Everyone is just a piece for him, a chess piece for him to move, and everyone is just underneath him. So yeah, there is this whole comic is basically how much can you really deal with how much of a bastard Penguin is as a character, and it's a pretty brutal book. There's a lot of Tom King is really good at writing being an emotional anglerfish. He dangles beautiful emotional moments, and then he goes psych and makes you feel bad for liking such things. You see that a few times in this book. There's this brutality and great commentary on there's also again the underlying commentary on government control of organized mafia, which is an actual thing. We see that not just that was a thing where organized crime is kind of manipulated by government officials, and then it's also manipulated heavily by U.S. government in other countries. So, yeah. So there's that. This is not a pleasant book. This is this will put you through the ringer till the end. But you can't help but keep rooting for Oswald throughout the entire series. Batman in here is more or less caught in the middle of this this insane war, and yeah, Penguin does know that Batman is Bruce Wayne, and how he just kind of fucks him at the end. It's just the biggest middle finger to Batman in here is just, and it's kind of so poetic too. I also really do. I also really do enjoy how King more or less is telling this overarching story through different timelines and through multiple people. A majority of the comic in monologues are told by monologues of how people view Penguin. And so it's terrifying. They tell you stories about him, and all these conflicting storylines are all about Penguin is a monster. We don't really get his monologue until the last 2 pages of the entire comic. And it's kind of a fuck you in a good way. I really do like, there are some great scenes in here, like when Riddler goes to like mock Oswald and he's just saying riddles and whatnot, and then Penguin just beats the shit out of him. There's also like great stuff in here with Oswald and his the other people, like Lisa St. Clair, who's Penguin's quote unquote girlfriend, who goes on about like, you know, she thinks he's disgusting and whatnot, but at the same time she can't get enough of him. Like there's a great moment where she's like, yeah, have you ever like fucked a guy who wanted to murder his own children? It's astonishing. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Also, it turns out that character's the cousin of Silver St. Cloud, which I'm like, I guess Tom King really likes Silver St. Cloud, because this is the second or third time. Definitely the second time he's brought up that character, because she was definitely used in Batman Elmer Fudd. But yeah. This like even the kids, Addison and Aiden, those two are also chip off the old block. And there's just some downright like cold lines that Oswald says in here, like when a dog comes up to Oswald and is like playing with him, and the owner's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." The dog, like, he's a good dog, and he's like, and Oswald's like, "Yeah, I know he's a good dog." He's like, "Are you gonna kill me?" And he's like, "Nah, I got things to do. I'll have someone else kill you later." And it's just like cold shit like that in here that is just like, ooh, it just chills you to the bone. But yeah, I did have to do some memory, because again, Tom King reads best when you have like the whole story there. That's why I'm still holding off on Danger Street until I get volume 2. But yeah, this was still a good read, and I have been enjoying his Wonder Woman, except the Absolute Power tie-ins were pretty bad. So hopefully he can stick the landing, because I think volume 3 is the end. Anyway, all in all, yeah, I would say, like, if you can find both volumes, yeah, but I also feel like there's going to be a deluxe edition of this comic of all 12 issues in the special they put in. So maybe just wait for that, I don't know. But I would highly recommend checking out the Penguin series. Obviously, this was made to capitalize off of the, you know, Matt Reeves' Batman universe of the Penguin TV show. And yeah, if you thought that was brutal, this is equally just as brutal, if not more. So I do recommend it, but it's not for the faint of heart. So yeah, go check this out. I highly recommend both volumes, the entirety of it. Yeah. So Chris, thank you once again for sending me this comic. And if you've read Tom King's Penguin, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.